Hello, it's me, and I've been asked to go through a walkthrough of this really fascinating looking Megaminx barrel puzzle. So I really like shape mods, as you know, especially ones that they take the normal shape and they do something really creative with this. That's what I really liked about the Hexaminx. Hexaminx is another dodecahedron that's made to look like a cube. This is made to look like a barrel, but it's not just a barrel. What's defined as sides is a very interesting and unique coordination of colors. So it's basically a supercube in that rotation has meaning, not on this layer. With this layer, this is the only one that kind of looks anything like resembles what the Megaminx layer looks like, but you've got this over here. Here's the center, edge, corner, corner. Since I had a number of requests for it, let's do it. And to anyone who's thinking of buying this, first off, if you like the Hexaminx, if you enjoy a Megaminx solve, then yeah, I do recommend it. It's actually very well put together. So actually, we'll just go ahead and now notice with the solve, you can rotate this any direction and it's still in a solved pattern. So in that way it might seem like it might be easier. Plus there's a lot of equivalent pieces here, so there's not going to be a lot of hunting around. So let's see what kind of complications are coming out of this. And as I can anticipate that there's some simple portions to it, then I'm not going to memorize where things go. I'm just going to go ahead, dive in and solve this. I won't speed it up either, just so you can see the movement of this puzzle. So turn this around over here. Now someone had asked me what Megaminx version this was made out of, and the answer is, I don't know. I would imagine it's the latest one that has the best movement because this moves really well. So you can see these centers. Now these centers are looking like your typical Hexaminx, looking like your typical Megaminx type centers. So you can really start to tease it out a little bit more. Even the edges are coming in a little bit more, that's easier to see. So one of the things that gives you a perspective bender with shape mods is the fact that you want to follow the pattern of what shape you think it is. Once you scramble it, then you can sort of see the true nature of the puzzle come out, and the confusion decreases a little bit as well. So as I'm taking it away from the shape of a barrel, I'm no longer looking at it as a barrel. And because I'm not looking at it as a barrel, then I can function with it more as a dodecahedron, if that makes sense. Well, okay. Move this cross over here. Let's move these greens out of the way. Alright, so let's see if we can continue to separate out things here. Turn. Okay, so yeah, I'm having no problems at all. So you can see we're getting a pretty good scramble. Let's separate some of these pieces out here. Turn this over here. Alright, now like I say, the true challenge of this puzzle may come from the fact that we're not really sure what the sides look like. So that might be kind of confusing, and when I have pieces that look like each other, I might get issues with false equivalency. Okay, lining up edges, and again, I think this puzzle is probably unpoppable. Okay. Not too bad of a scramble. Maybe separate this out here. Okay, I think we got it. So looking at this here, now it looks like a dodecahedron. I can see centers, almost like a dodecahedron ball cube. Okay, so what approach shall I take? What should I do? Well, it's probably better for me just in terms of perspective of getting the tops and the bottoms, because that's going to be easier to get. So I'm going to put edges in first. I've got this edge over here, and this is one long edge here. Now the thing about it is that it doesn't matter which one I put in, as they're all equivalent. So in that way, that seems like it would be easier. I'm just going to line this up here, swing it around, and this is in. So now I'm just arbitrarily looking for any one, which is nice. I like to not have to hunt around. And I'm moving this into here. So, like I say, I'm getting my proverbial cross. Although it isn't really a cross here, it's more like a star. So I'm going to get my inner star. And move this into here. Okay, this is in. One more, this guy over here. This will come here and now splat. Okay, so you got the star, we've got this. Now corners, you can see this corner is in. And there's complete equivalency of all corners, so I'm completely free to put any one in here. So far, it's a fast solve. No tricks. And in. Not bad. Okay, let's move this guy in. So this first layer is something of a snap. Turn. And I'm just kind of doing a variation of RIDIRD. Now I'll also say that I've had a number of requests for like a top 10, what are my hardest puzzles, what are my favorite puzzles, and I thought that would be a great idea, so I'm going to do something like that next. Okay, this is the last of the corners, and again this is, if nothing else, to demonstrate the movement of the puzzle. It feels very secure. Okay, so there's my first side. You can see that we have complete equivalency. It doesn't have any specific rotation. Here's AJ's name over here, and it looks like a little cap on top of this mess over here. Now, I guess looking back, I did a little bit wrong. All of these centers are red. All of these centers are equivalent to each other, but you can see they're rotated wrong. So actually, I need to rotate this out and put them in conjunction with the proper orientation of this center. So I have to, I'm just tooling it around until I can see this appears flush here, so now I'm putting this here. So you can see this red is rotated correctly. Now to the more astute of you, you are probably seeing that I was running into this trouble, and you are probably tempted to yell at the computer or whatever you're watching and say, stop, you're doing it wrong. So I'm just doing some damage control. So this is in over here. You can see these are already in. This is in here, but it's wrong. Okay. Alright, so I had forgotten about the supercube quality of this, super dodecahedron quality of it, but it's not a big worry. I can get this in, move this in over here, bring this in and plop. Okay, so now we see that all the centers are coordinated correctly. So the next step is to get these guys in, and that's pretty easy to find. Which color? It's the red one, right? This is okay. This is in, but it's upside down. So I'm just going to pick any red one. Really doesn't matter which. I can do this one here. Okay, now this will come down to here, but that'll be upside down, so I'm going to move it in from here. So I have equivalency of pieces here, translational equivalency. R, well, this is U, I, L, I, U, L, U, F, UI, FI. I solve my Megaminx the same way as I solve my 3x3s. It's the same algorithms. It's really just knowing where your edges and corners are. So this is going to come down to here. Again, this is middle layer strategy. I'm putting this in as I would the middle layer of a 3x3. Another red. All right, so far it's a fun but fairly simple kind of a solve. But let's see where the future brings us. I honestly don't know. And turn. It's an interesting choice that this color scheme was made because, like I say, it's not a huge challenge regarding that. There are some puzzles where the color scheme does make it a challenge, almost impossible. But maybe there's a payoff phase at the end here. Turn and down. Oh, upside down. And I think that's the last one anyway. Okay. I very astutely and efficiently placed it upside down. Turn, 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 and down. Let's try that again. Okay, that was just for practice. Turn and down. Okay, so my next step in a Megaminx solve, we've got all these, is I'm going to solve a triad of two edges and a corner, and that's going to be the ones that come into here. You can see this green comes into here. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for an orange and red. Well, the center that comes down here. So I think it's green. So I'm matching up greens here. What I want to do is I want to put green edges here. So here's a green, but I don't think it matches with this. At least I think it's green. Move this to the top here. So this one, you can't really see because these are in the way, but this green one fits with here and here. So I'm going to find another green one here. If I come into here, does it fit? Well, okay. I think it belongs over here. So I'm going to take this, move it out of the way, move this in, see if this fits up here. And now maybe we can see a little better now that these big bulky things are out of the way. So I've got this here, now I got to get the corner in correctly. And I don't have to do any hunting. I move it up to the top, do R-I, D-I, R, D, and I keep doing that until it fits flush. Bring it in, and boom. So we can see that these greens belong here. How do I know it's the greens? Well, it's the only one that's left, really. So I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm going to match greens to match this side over here. Here's a green one here, so I'm just going to wait until it plops in. This one plopped in over here. How about this? Does it match? This one does, this one doesn't. So let's get this out of the way. And then move it into, oh, I don't know, here. Won't move into there like that, which means I gotta put it upside down. How about like this? Nope, okay. Let me go back to the beginning here. So it appears that this belongs here. I need to find a green one to come down to here. And here is such a green, but it doesn't fit in this direction, doesn't fit in this direction. So the way that I would normally do this with the Megaminx is it would have to move here, but it still doesn't fit there. So maybe it belongs on this side? Not even close. No, it's got to be here, I think. Not from that angle. How about this angle? Still not from that angle. Alright, so there's something that I'm missing here. This belongs here, this doesn't. So maybe they're not as equivalent as I thought. This is definitely correct in this position here, but I've got the wrong green. See if these fit. These fit here too. So I guess there's not complete equivalency. I'm just going to compare something. Yeah, these are all fine, but this guy is dead wrong. Now it should, if I angle it down here, come down to here. But that still seems wrong to me. Aha! We have found a challenge. I'm not sure what that is. Not all the greens are the same, is the only conclusion I can make. So I'm going to move all of these greens to the top. And I got to move it into here. So what belongs? This one? Yes. This one. Okay, so these belong. Now I just have to find a corner. Now does it matter which corner? I don't think so. Okay, so now we see that we're liking the way this is looking. This is fine, this is fine. Now it's a little surprising to me that not all of them are the same. And of course I may be incorrect about that. Here's the AJ one. This once again doesn't seem to belong here. Move this into here. This does belong here though. So let's bump that out of the way here. So this, where does this belong? Nope, this doesn't like it anywhere here. Nor does this. This likes it over here. And this likes it over here. Okay. You know, I think I'm incorrect. I think these can belong here. I just, for some reason, it wasn't working over there. So you can see this is in, these three are in here, these are in, and now I've got to do this. Once again, this is my typical Megaminx solve. I'm not doing anything different. This looks good over here. Let's bump this out of the way. Move this into here. These two big guys aren't really letting me see, but it looks okay here now. Okay, we'll move this down here. I've got this, any of these corners will do. R-I, D-I, R-D. I keep going down with the corners with R-I-D-I, R-Ds. So like I say, this is exactly the same technique that I use for 3x3. I'm just putting it on a dodecahedron. Boom, okay. One more to go. This guy, we already have a whole bunch that we can use. bring this out. So I move it to the top, bring it out, start moving it into where I think it's got to go. This belongs here. We got this guy who can come into here. And now, so I got to tell you, this equivalency is really making this a pretty straightforward solve experience, which is okay. I think maybe the fun of this puzzle is just getting it into the barrel form and watching that happen. More like a novelty piece, I guess. Okay, boom. So what do we think? Good, 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 good. Now that's the most time-consuming part of any Megaminx solve. The next part is putting this in, and this uses corner techniques. We're just doing RID, RD. This is the top layer here, so bring it to the top. And I keep doing RID, RD type movements to get it in. It's taking a little bit more than I thought it should. Okay, boom. So this is in here. Now I got to move this guy into here, in, and I just keep going down, in. So far, this is the fastest Megaminx solve I've done, which tells you something based on just how slow my fast this is. Turn and down, and now one more. But again, most of this is just hunting around for it, so I don't fault it for being simple. If this were a ghost type Megaminx, I'd be doing a lot of hunting around. Okay, so we've got all of these in. The next thing that I want to do is the centers should automatically be placed as well, rotated right, because I coordinated with these guys. Now I'm going to do this. This is my secondary middle edge technique. I did a middle edge technique to get these guys in. Now I'm going to do the same edge technique to get these guys in. So this will come down to here, not with the large end, it's got to be the small end. So I'm going to turn this like so. This will come down to here doing that same middle algorithm. It's my secondary middle side. And let's see if this works. Yeah, it should work. Boom. So that's it. Now let's put another one in. This to come down to here. UR, UI, RI, UI, FI, UF. Beginner's method. Nothing but beginner's method. Same thing with here. So I found the color scheme isn't too terribly challenging. You can see I didn't really miss a beat with that. And I'm about to complete this side here. Now we're going to get to the payoff part of the solve, which is the last side. So here this is. Now we've got all this to put in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on rotation of the center here. One is in, which is like none are in. So I'm going to hold it like this with this to the side and do F, R, U, RI, UI, FI. That gets these three. That's like the L formation, which means we're going to hold it here and do it again. F. Well, let me try something. Let's do F, U, R, UI, RI, FI. Aha! It worked. So all these are up, and I don't have to do permutation, so all I've got to do now is rotate the corners. And that's just doing RI, RD, doing that into submission, so to speak. So we do RI, DI, RD, RI, DI, RD, RI, DI, RD, RI, DI, RD. Roll this over here, so you don't need to do any permutation issues, only rotation. Once you've rotated it, any one of them will do. Put this back in, and done. And that's it. It's solved. There you have it, the Megaminx barrel. Because there's so much equivalencies on all of these, if you do it like this, these last layers don't need any permutation issues. In other words, you don't have to put this here, this here, this here. You don't have to do any of those algorithms. It's all just orientation. Orient these, you're done. Orient these, and you're done too. But still, it's a fun, cute little puzzle. It's simpler than a Megaminx, but it certainly has a much more fun, festive-looking shape to it. Definitely worthy. I'd say it's easier, of course, than the Hexaminx as well. So get it because it looks good, and it's a great little shape mod, although not too great of a challenge if you're very comfortable with a Megaminx solve. There you have it. Thanks for watching.